This video is about Saint Cecilia. We're going to answer some questions about Saint Cecilia in this video. First, who is Saint Cecilia? Second, why did she become a saint? And third, why is she the patron saint of music and musicians? Cecilia is one of the most popular of Roman saints. The year of her birth is not known, but she is believed to have died about 177 AD. Her body was discovered incorrupt in 1599. She is known to be the first saint to be incorrupt. Saint Cecilia is the first saint whose body experienced the phenomenon of incorruption. That means that she looks as if she was just sleeping. Legends say that she was the daughter of patrician Roman Christians, who gave her in marriage to a young nobleman named Valerian of Trastevere. Despite her desire to remain a virgin, she obeyed her parents. The day on which the wedding was to be held arrived, and while musical instruments were playing, she was singing in her heart to God, "Make my heart and my body pure, that I may not be confounded." Saint Cecilia today is like many brides on their wedding day. They have happy smiling faces, beautiful clothes, but their hearts can be full of worries and anxieties about married life. It will be a completely new life for the bride, so most women have questions. How will their life change after the wedding celebrations? After the celebration of her marriage, the couple had retired to the wedding chamber. Saint Cecilia told her husband Valerian that she was betrothed to an angel who jealously guarded her body. Therefore, Valerian must care not to violate her virginity. Most men would not like these words, but Valerian loved her so much. So he said, "Dearest, if this be true, show me the angel." And Cecilia said, "If you believe in the living and one true God, and receive the water of baptism, then you shall see the angel." Valerian agreed and was baptized. When he returned, he saw Cecilia praying in her chamber, and an angel by her with flaming wings, holding 2 crowns of roses and lilies, which she placed on their heads, and then vanished. The brother of Valerian, Tiburtius, was also converted, and after being baptized, he too experienced many marvels. The 2 brothers were very wealthy, and they began to help the Christian families who had lost their support through the martyrdom of the fathers, spouses, and sons. They saw to the burial of the Christians and continually braved the same fate as these victims. In the time in Rome, it was very dangerous to be a Christian. They were arrested and brought before the prefect Almatius, and when they refused to sacrifice and worship to the gods, they were executed with the sword. Today we know there are many political prisoners, people who follow their conscience and beliefs, so their governments do not like what they are doing. They are put in jails, often for very long periods of time. Sometimes they are executed because they stand up for their faith and beliefs. After her husband and his brother died, Cecilia buried them at her villa on the Appian Way, and she was arrested for this action. Despite the fact that the Roman prefect attempted to persuade her toward a more politically correct behavior to worship the Roman gods, Cecilia refused to submit. Because of this, she was also executed. After a failed attempt to suffocate her in a heated bath in her own home, an executioner was sent to behead her. Cecilia was like many of these political prisoners today. We know that there are also many women today who suffer from imprisonment and torture because they refuse to surrender to the pressures of powerful governments. Many of these women can spend long years in prison, and many of them can also be killed. and executed. She was sentenced to be suffocated in her own bathroom, but Cecilia survived. There were 3 attempts to behead her, but it only mortally wounded her and failed to kill her immediately. Over the next 3 days, she lay in pain, singing songs of praise to God and comforting herself with sacred music as her friends came to seek her final blessing. This is the reason why she is the patron saint of music and musicians, because through music she worshiped God. Finally, after 3 days, she died, never once forsaking her faith in Christ. Her grave was discovered in the year 817, and her body was removed to the church of Saint Cecilia in Rome. The tomb was opened, and her body was discovered incorrupt in 1599, as if she was just sleeping. She is known to be the first saint to be incorrupt.